Good. Let me check the screen is the right height. So, good morning to everybody. Jeanette's just joining as well. And for those of you who are doing the recording later on, we're going to use a ball today or a cushion, something you can pass between your hands. I've gone for small head cushion. I've got a medium one as well. I don't know whether we use that one. And something to stretch your legs. So we are going to do a bit of ball work today. So that normally ends up meaning a bit of glutes, mainly glutes, I think. But let's see where it takes us. So let's start with your feet together. Just very gently touching, and then from here let your toes spread out onto the floor, and then think about a line coming up through your ankles, your knees, your hips, through the back of the ribs, and then through your shoulders, coming up tall through the top of your head in a straight line. So let those toes spread out, let the feet just gently take up their base of support, trying to let everything relax as much as possible. And then while the feet are relaxing, you're going to grow up a little bit taller and just think of the spine lengthening away with as little stress as possible. So any stresses, along with gravity that's maybe been pulling us forward a little bit tight throughout the week, we're just going to let that go. We're going to let the stresses drain away and allowing us to just gently grow up tall and then coming up to your tallest position. Good. Okay, so from here we're going to gently shrug your shoulders up and then let them come back down. We're going to press your hands back, hold, and then let them come back to the middle. Tilt your pelvis backwards and forwards 2 or 3 times, and then come and find the middle position. And then soften the ribs, and we're going to have a couple of slow breaths in and out through the side and back of the rib cage. Again, on the out breath, just let any tension flow away through those feet. Good. Okay, so we are going to start with the ball up at shoulder height, and we do some shoulder shrugs to start off with. So controlling the ribs, pelvis neutral, and we're just going to glide the shoulders up to the ears and then back down. Okay, glide up and then back down. So starting off nice and easy. On this one, you're going to think about being long through the back of the neck, soft through the jaw. You've got a book balanced on your head, and the ball is staying absolutely still as we glide up and glide down. And on the way down, just feel that you're letting go of any tension through the shoulders, through the neck. And on the next one, we're going to hold it with the shoulders down slightly. Okay. From here, you're going to glide your arms forward and then backwards and repeat. So glide forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards. Keep that one going. I'm just going to open my blind because I can see that I'm quite dark and I don't think you're going to be able to see me. No, that's not going to work. Whoa, too bright. Let's open this one. I think that might be a bit better. You might be able to see me clearer. So coming back to the middle. Good. Just bring the ball down, give your arms a shake. So from here, we're going to go your arm opening. So feet hip width apart, and then turn your chest. Bring the ball out, back to the middle. So headlights on your pelvis are straight forward, and we're going to rotate one side and the other. Apparently my son's got a drum lesson in about 45 minutes down the other end of the garden, so if you suddenly hear a drum solo when we're trying to do relaxation at the end, that's what it will be. We'll see how that one goes. Okay, let's take it into back straight, so backward circle and repeat. Turning through the chest Let your nose follow your chest, remember. And the ball is staying in your peripheral vision. And then we're going to go front crawls. So forward circle and back. Forward circle and back. Turn through the chest. Keep that front arm long. Imagine you're going through the water, you're gliding through the water and coming back. One more either way. And then come back. Good. Okay, give those arms a shake. Hopefully upper body's starting to warm up a little bit. From here we're going to go into some squats. So you're going to go feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Remember, if you've got dodgy knees, we're just going to soften and straighten, just a very small movement. On the way back up, tighten through your glutes, tighten through your thighs. If you're okay with a squat, you're going to lean backwards, reaching the ball forwards, and then pull back in. So you're going to reach, and then come back in. Reach, and come back in. Good, so on the way forward, push your hips forward, tighten through your glutes, and then come back. Good, so try and keep those feet relaxed. Just check you're not gripping with your toes. Remember, we're going to keep your weight even, big toe, little toe, and heel on each foot. As your bum goes backwards and you're reaching forwards. And then you're going to hold the next one to wherever you're comfortable. And we're going to add in 5 reaches with the ball. 4 and 5. Okay, hold it there. Push back up tall, controlling the ribs. And then at the top, we're going to side bend. Let your head be framed by arms. And then come back and repeat to the other side. Coming back up. Okay, again over to the, well, up to my right. And then come back. And then over to the other side. There's a great silhouette on the screen. I think that might be Emma. Just see you lit up. Let's do one more to either side. And then back. One more to the other side. And then back to the middle. Good. Give your arms a shake. And from here, we're going to do an upper back roll up. And we're going to roll backwards. Gently take your chin down towards your chest. Reaching down. Breathing in to hold. And then breathe out, control the ribs, stretching up through your shoulders. And then come back down, one more. So roll the shoulders backwards, chin down towards your chest. Breathing in at the bottom to hold. And then breathe out to come up. And this one, if you want to, you can go onto tiptoes. And then here we're going to add in the rotation of the chest. And then back to the other side. And back. Okay, repeat once more to either side. And back to the middle. Good. Okay, give your arms and legs a bit of a shake. So we're going to go for the work for your balance with the marching drills. You're going to start with the ball up above your head. I'll do a mirror image for you here. So I'm going to go, so left side, lifting the left knee, passing underneath the knee, and we're going super slow so that we have to work your balance, and then coming back up. Don't touch your toes down though. Keep your toes off the floor, so we're staying balanced on the other leg, and we're going to reverse the circle. So we're just staying on the one leg, and we're going super slow. Imagine a book balanced on your head. Ball's coming under the knee. Now at the top, remember when the ball's coming under the knee, try and keep up really tall, so from your nose to your belly button is not going to move. Okay, and we've got one more. starting to wobble. Okay, good. And then come back down. Good. Give the ankle a bit of a shake, the one you've just been standing on. And then we're going to change sides. So, ball above your head. We're going to start off passing the ball with your right hand under your right knee. Really tall at this point when the ball is coming under the knee. Keep up really tall. Come back up. Try not to tap your toes down. Obviously, you can if you need to. Don't want you falling over. We're just super slow on these ones this morning. So we work the balance. We've got to think about being really relaxed on these movements. So we minimise the wobble. Okay, good. Going to do 2 more. So coming under number 1. And last one. So if you've done all of those without tapping down, well done. Okay, good. Give those ankles a shake. And then from here, we're going to go into some stepping or some lunging, whatever you prefer. So if you have your feet on their train tracks, very slightly wider than hip width apart, and you're going to step back and reach, and then back to the middle, step back and reach, back to the middle. As you come back to the middle, as ever, push your hips forward, tighten through your glutes, control your ribs. Now that can turn into a lunge if you want to, and a lunge if your knees are okay. So any creaky knees, just keep it a step, but if you want to take it into a lunge, feel free. Remember, if you're going for a deeper lunge, you do need to be quite a long way back, so your front knee doesn't pass over your toes. And to do that, you're going to need to take your weight all the way down on both legs, as opposed to through the front leg. Okay, so lunge and back. I just need to change my position so I can go back a bit further. Lunge and back, lunge and back. Okay, one more on either side, then we're going to add in a little bit of a twist. Okay, so on your next one, doesn't matter if you're lunging or stepping, so I'll show you with the step first. You're going to step back, you're going to twist towards the back leg, come back to the front and bring it back in, and to the other side. Step, twist to the middle and back. So same with the lunge, you can lunge, twist, return and back, lunge, twist, return and back. Make sure you're steady on your feet. Twist, return and back. One more on either side off this one. Twist, return and back. Last one on either side. Lunge, twist, return and back. Lunge, twist, return, back up. Well done. Give those legs a shake. We're going to place the ball down and go for a couple of stretches. So feet hip width apart on train tracks. Calf stretch first of all. So back leg straight, back heel down, long line from your heel to your head. Bring your arms up and then stretch away. Let your heart rate come back down after those lunges. Back up to the middle, change sides. Okay, stretch away, so long line from your heel to your head, and then from your heel to your middle fingers. And back, good. And we go for the quad stretch, which we've been working the last few weeks. If you need to put something, a towel around your foot or a band around your foot, then you can do so. Otherwise, coming up into standing, pushing your hips forward, controlling your ribs. And if you're okay with this one from the balance point of view, then you don't have to hold on. If you're a little unsteady, make sure you've got something close to you. Once you've got into a good position, if you're very confident with your balance, you can bring the other arm up into the air if you want to. And then slowly coming back down, and then repeat on the other leg. So control the ribs, push the hips forward, keeping your pelvis neutral, and then you can bring the thigh back to where you're comfortable if you want to work on your balance in this position. But I don't mind if you're holding on, because first priority in this one is to get the stretch in the right place. So if you're wobbling all over the shop, then you're not going to be getting the stretch right. Okay, good, excellent. I think that's got us warmed up from head to toe. So 2 roll downs. So heels, bum, ribs, shoulders, head, Velcroed, not glued, back against the wall, so that we can peel the Velcro away one level at a time. Coming down through the top of your head, top of your shoulders and neck. Slowly coming down through your spine. Keep weight forward over your toes. To where you're comfortable, and then add in some arm circles and reverse them. Okay, chance at the bottom here to slow your breathing down. Think about the movement through the side and back of your ribs, and on the out breath, just see if you can let go to anything that feels like it might be carrying a little bit of tension. Whether that's your neck or your shoulders, you might be at the computer a lot this week. Or if your legs are feeling a bit tight, or your calves or your feet, and then just gently relaxing into it, and slowly, on your next out breath, scoop back up and coming up tall. Okay, we'll go palms out, shoulder height, stretching the arms behind you, and then gently lifting your breastbone up to the sky. And then on your next out breath, we've got roll down number 2. So again, coming down to where you're comfortable. Focus on the breathing. On the out breath, start with any relaxation through your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms and your hands and your fingers. Reverse the circles. And then on the next out breath, just seeing if you can let go through your ribs, your pelvis, and then your thighs, your knees, and finally your calf muscles, your shins, your feet and your toes. And then when you're ready, you can slowly come down onto the mat in your own time. And we're going to start with a small head cushion. What are we going to do? We're going to go straight for the bridging this morning. So actually, correct that, you don't need your head cushion. We're going back into our rest position with the ball between your knees. Feet hip width apart. Bring your heels back towards your bum a little. Stretch your fingers down away towards your toes, and then let your shoulders drop. So your shoulder blades are going to sit gently back on the mat. Nod your nose down, so lengthening through the back of your neck. And again, stretch fingers towards your toes, but just then let the arms go floppy. Check that you're not gripping the floor. And we're going to start off with a couple of easy bridges just to break us into it. So rolling backwards, gradually peeling up one level at a time.
Just waking up through the lower back and the hips this morning, and then coming back down through your ribs, through your pelvis, one level at a time, coming back onto the floor, and then we repeat. So breathe in to prepare, breathing out, roll upwards. Breathing in at the top to hold, and then breathe out to slowly come back down. And repeat. So do a couple more, nice and smooth. So work on which bits you need to work on. So some of you will be really controlling the ribs and try and get the hips a little bit higher. Some of you, it might be getting a smooth roll up and a smooth roll down. And then also at the top, check you're not gripping with your hands. So just lift your arms off for a second before placing them down gently. Okay, your next one, we're going to hold at the top. And we're going to start with a hip drop variation. So if you wanted a little bit of feedback through your hips, you can put your fingers on the bony bits. You're going to very gently drop the left side and squeeze back up. And as you squeeze back up, trying to work on your glutes. Drop the right side, squeeze back up. Both sides just a centimetre, and squeeze back up. And repeat. So you're going left, right, and both. Okay, if you're confident with your position here, you can have your hands up out the way, as if you're holding a beach ball above your chest. And just feeling that small movement at your pelvis. And remember, we're more thinking about coming back up to that middle position. So it's a good way of just coming out of the middle position and then refining it. Let's do one more variation on of each one. So left, right, and then both. And in this position, just check your ribs still controlled, are the hips high? I think I've dropped a tiny bit there. And then roll back down. And on the way back down, bring your arms back over your head for a stretch. And then you can bring your knees in towards your chest and gently take your knees from one side to the other. And then coming back down to your rest position. Okay, so bridge number 2, we're going to roll back up, hold it at the top. Okay, just check ribs control, bum scooped. And we go for the heel lift. So either heel lift, keeping the toes down, especially if you find this position challenging, or heel lift and then a toe hover. And again, just really focusing on keeping the pelvis level. Again, if you're confident here and you want to challenge yourself, you can take your arms out the way, which definitely makes it a little bit harder to really focus on what's going on around those hips and around your middle as you transfer the weight. So only do this when what we don't want is as you lift the leg that you drop down on one side. So if you really drop in, then you're not quite ready for that level yet. So either have your hands down or just go onto those heel lifts and just get to the point where you just feel that the toe's about to come off, but just as much as you can, controlling through your pelvis. So keeping high, we can do 2 more on either side. So right, left, right, left. Great, roll back down. Knee hugs again. And this time you can keep hold of your right knee and the ball if you've got the ball, and let your left leg stretch away. and then change sides. Okay, so bridge set number 3. So you've got a few variations there that you can pick already. I will give you one harder one, which is the one leg lifts. So with the one leg lifts, you can have one leg out straight, ball between your knee, keeping your toes pulled back, and again, you can go hands up or have your hands down and just lifting up and down. Only do this one if you are perfect on the other variations, otherwise choose one of your other variations. So you're going to go for 10 bridges on either side. And if you're not doing the one-legged versions, then work on one of the previous levels. Okay, so halfway. Last couple, keep that leg out straight. Okay, last one. And then back down, good work. Okay, we're going to change legs. And off we go. So 10, 9. Really keep those hips high. Keep the leg out straight, keep your toes pulled back. I think we're on to our last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay, come back down. That's a heavy exercise, that one. So grab something to stretch your legs. And let the other leg come away where you're comfortable. And we'll change sides. So I'm not sure if you can hear the tapping. I've got I think it's a pigeon on the roof that's clearly found something to eat and it's pecking away at the roof. So if there's a light tapping, that's not the drum lesson, it's just a pigeon, okay? Okay, good. So coming back to the middle, we're going to go for a little bit of abdominal work. So if you want to add in your head cushion, if you're more comfortable with your head cushion, you can place it, the little head cushion in place. I feel like I need a good stretch today, so I'm not going to use mine. And we're going to go, let's go ball between the knees again. And we're going to do a couple of sets of crunchies and abdominal work. So let's go hands either by your side or behind your head. So first set of crunchies, breathing into prepare, check your pelvis is neutral, a little bit of pelvic floor if you want to, and as you breathe out, curling forward, aim your ribs towards your pelvis and coming back. So exhale and inhale. So think about your shoulder blades being down and back. So keeping broad behind you so that our shoulders aren't rounding at the top. Apple between your chin and your chest. And then think about, if your hands are by your side, just think about gently sliding them towards your heels and letting them slide back. So if you want to work a bit harder, you can squeeze the ball at the top and then release and squeeze and release. We're going to go for 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. Okay, good. Come back down. From here, we're going to go straight into your obliques. So let's go right hand behind your head, left hand down by your side, and we're going to curl up and across. Again, at the top, if you want to, you can add in a little bit of a bull squeeze. So breathing in to prepare as you breathe out, coming up and across. So breathing out, breathing in all the way down. We're going to go for 10 to either side. So I think after the next one, we're about halfway. So last 5. Last 2. Really keep your head, neck and jaw soft on your last couple. Come back down, so straight across to the other side. No rest on these ones, so breathing out to come up, breathe in to come back down. Halfway. Last couple. Last one. Good. Come back down so you can have a little stretch. Arms over your head, legs away down the floor. So hopefully you were managing that one okay. We're going to do another set, and as ever, second set we're going to make it a bit harder if you want to. So second set, we are going to, again, you can either keep your feet down, just add in a bull squeeze. You can do the same hand variations. If you want to work a bit harder today, we're going to go double tabletop. And again, as you come up into your crunch, you can add in a bull squeeze if you want to make it super hard. Okay, so from here, I'm going to go hands hovered. If you want to go hands behind your head, that's fine. Breathing in to prepare, breathing out, curling forward. And we're going to go for 12 of these, okay? That's the first 2 already. So aiming those ribs towards your pelvis. Keeping that apple between your chin and your chest. So not nodding your nose up or down. Wide through your shoulder blades. And I've lost count already. I think we've got 6 left. 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. If you can stay in tabletop, do so. If not, put your feet down. I'm feeling it in my abs. If I go quiet on these, it's because I'm working quite hard. So we go hands behind your head for the obliques. And we're going to aim for 10 to either side. So if you get too tired, either drop your heels down to shorten the lever or place your feet back on the floor. Okay, so work at the level you're happy with. Let's go. Alternating sides. This has got to be good for us, right? Breathing out on the way up, in on the way down. I think that's halfway. Okay, so last 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, well done if you're still going, 2, 1. Excellent work. Hug those knees in to your chest. And then you can take the ball over your head and your legs away. Just let things unwind for a second or two. I can feel my inner thighs there from squeezing the ball. So if you want to go into feet together, knees out to the side, control your ribs. And let the inner thighs unwind as well. Okay, and then come back to the middle. And then we're going to do one set working the lower abs. If your abs have had enough already, and they've packed up and gone home, then your variation would be with your feet down, opposite arm and opposite leg, just stretch away. Or if you start off with what we're about to do and it feels too hard, then this will be your variation, okay? Controlling the ribs, controlling the pelvis. For those who are feeling brave and strong today and not injured or not in pain, then we're going to go for dead bugs. So from this position, we're going to tap toes, take your arm back over your head. So opposite arm, opposite leg. So remember on this one, you can just tap your toes quite close to your bum if you want to start off with to shorten the lever. So definitely pelvis neutral. I'm thinking about a little bit of pelvic floor on this exercise, and then really focusing on softening down through the ribs as if I'm imprinting into the sand behind me. If you want to work a bit harder, if you've had your shredded wheat this morning, then you can tap your toes a bit further away from your body to lengthen the lever. And we're going to count down from, what should we count down from, 50? Maybe not. 20? I'm not sure. Let's go for 10, okay? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, last 2, last 1, and come back down. Good work. Knees in towards your tummy again, and keep holding your right knee, let your left leg stretch away. That is your abs section complete. You'll be pleased to know your six packs get a break now. Change legs. And come back to the middle. Good. Okay. So if you can move, we'll get you over onto your side. And we're going to go back to the ball, and we're going to go a little bit working sideline. So if you've got a ball, I'm not sure if this works with a cushion, but feel free to give it a go if you haven't got a ball and you're using the cushion. Ball behind the back of your knee, upper arm stretched out, so in a clam position, pelvis neutral, control the ribs. Top hand can either be on the floor or your pelvis. And then we're going to stretch through the front of the thigh. Remember, really keep that connection between the ribs and your pelvis, and then release. So lower back should stay neutral here. Very easy to go curvy through your lower back as the leg comes behind you. And that's what we're trying to control. Okay, so letting the leg drift back, so you're getting a stretch over your hip flexor, your bum and your hamstring are doing the work to keep the ball still. So I always really have to work on the ribs to the pelvis on this one. Some of you might feel that you're more working at pushing the hips forward. It's almost relaxing back into the stretch. Okay, 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. And then coming back. Good work. Okay, so ball is now going between your feet and the legs are getting stretched away. I've lost my ball. Let's try that again. Not doing very well here. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, so upper arm stretched away if you can. Again, hands can either be on the floor in front of you or on your hips. Control the ribs, control your pelvis. So firstly in this position, we're going to squeeze the underneath leg up into the ball, but you're going to match the pressure with your top leg. So your bottom leg's not actually going to move anywhere. It's just going to be a squeeze. But the upper leg is just controlling. So underneath leg, try and pull it up into the ball and then gently release. So there's quite a long squeeze. So squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. So a good one to practice your balance in this position. If you do need your hand on the floor, that's fine. See if you can go down to kind of 2 fingers or 1 finger if you're able to, and just find that balance point between your upper body, where you're contacting the floor sort of through your lats really, and your pelvis, and then your feet are gently on the floor. But the balance is really coming from your hips up through your trunk. So again, squeeze, almost relaxing the whole of the upper body into the movement, and release. Squeeze, and release. One more. So really relax from all the way from your top fingertips, through your head and your neck, down through your pelvis as your legs are doing the work, and release. Okay, next one from here, just check your toes are pulled back for a little bit of stability. We're going to do the double leg lift. So again, you might want to start with one fingertip on the floor. We're going to reach the ball away to hover and then come back down. Now remember on this one, in fact, before we do those, just do a couple of leg reaches. So your top leg, you're going to reach away over the ball and then release. So as you reach the top leg away, that's going to give you a little gap under your waist and then release. So we're not going to really reach as far as you can. You're just going to do a tiny reach this time and hold it. So you've still got a little gap under your waist here. And then we're going to go for the 2 leg lift and back down. Key thing with the leg lift is keeping that gap under your waist. So don't worry if it's not a very high lift. Almost stretch the ball away from you, rather than as soon as you start lifting higher, I can lift higher but I'm squashing down through my waist here, okay? So again, your hand might be lightly on the floor in front of you. Or if you found you could balance on that last one with the squeezes, then you might be ready for your hand on your hip. Okay, 2 more. And back down. Excellent. Okay, right, let's change sides. So come back in. So ball in place first of all. That's the tricky bit. Stay. Clam position. Get your hips over, control your ribs. Okay, top hand either on your pelvis or in front of you. And then gently stretch the top leg away, opening out over the front of your thigh, over the front of your hip flexors, front of your quads. Almost pause at the back of the movement as if you're feeling a bit of a stretch. If you can feel your bum working, then great. And again, this is one where your hips are right over. You want to check you're not rolling back through your pelvis. So upper body gets a little bit of a rest on this one, so just check there's no tension through your head, your neck and your shoulders. Okay, last two. And back, great. So, ball between your feet, and then stretching out long. Okay, so get yourselves lined up first of all. Pull your toes back towards you, control the ribs, control your pelvis. If you can stretch the upper arm a little bit more, then great, you can do so, so you're in a really nice straight line. First couple, we're going to send the ball away again, just get you focused on your middle, and then relax. So the top of the hip is stretching away, creating that gap, and then release. And then just come back to the middle position. And then from here, again, good one to practice your balance, because you're just going to squeeze your underneath leg up into the ball, holding for 5. If you find you're falling over them, do put a fingertip or 2 down, and then release. So again, even if you're on the floor here, if you do need 2 fingers here, then you could try maybe just hovering them and only touch down when you need to. So squeeze and release. So the bottom leg isn't actually lifting off the floor. Remember, you're just going to match the pressure with your top leg. So if you're balancing, just feel where the points of contact are with the floor, through your hand gently, through your lats, through your pelvis. And feeling balanced there, and then really trying to minimize tension through the rest of the body as you're squeezing. Okay, one more. So you squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. And then we're going to go for the leg lift. So again, if you need 2 fingers down to start off with, feel free. Just maybe you reset the top leg, stretch away a little, and then from here, we're going to hover and then come back down. So you can lift on the out breath and then breathe in to come back down. Okay, we're going to do 3 more. So relax as you can through the whole body, really long line from all the way from your fingertips to your heels on this one. And balanced and strong through your middle. Last one. Excellent work, good. Okay, so from here, coming over onto your front, you can keep the ball handy. You're going to come over onto your hands and knees actually, do a little bit of work on your hands and knees, but start off with just come back into your shell stretch. So just let your head and neck relax down. Let your bum sink down towards your heels, your chest down towards your knees, your head coming down towards the mat. And your hands can stretch along the way so your elbows are straight. And then slowly coming back up to the middle position. Okay, so from here, let's start off with a arm reach. So I'm just going to put a pad under my knees actually. Okay, so with an arm reach, we're going to set your shoulders, control your ribs, lengthen through the back of your head, breathing in to prepare, and then reaching long through your arm, coming back down. So just check the breastbone is pushed away from the floor, and you switch from one side to the other. So keeping the head up in line with your body, keeping the breastbone away from the floor. Your lower back should be completely still on here. Imagine you've got a glass of water balanced on your lower back. Just switching from one side to the other. Good work. One more on either side. Okay, good. So just give your wrists a little bit of a shake there if you want to. So we're going to do a leg lift as well. For those of you who've got a ball handy, we can try it with a ball at the back of your knee on this one as well, okay? So ball in place. This one you have to really work hard through your middle to stop you going curvy. So shoulders down away from your ears, head back up in line with the body, and we're going to lift up, controlling the lower back, and then come back down. So we're going to aim for 10 on each leg. So doing just enough work with the hamstrings to keep the ball in place. Really thinking about, so I'm having to really focus on the ribs for this one for me. Just because I'm a bit tight in hip flexors. So as I come up, the stretch is really strong through the hip flexors. Okay, don't forget about the upper body. I've completely lost count. I think we've got 3 left after this one. 2 and 3. Okay, good. And then we're going to change sides. Sure, this is the hardest bit. Okay, ball in place. Stay. Okay, so relaxing into it. I can feel my knee is not going very high. I can get it higher, but I think my lower back is going to go. So work on that upper body. Halfway. Okay, last few. Well done, you're looking good, guys. Last couple. With that knee go a bit further now, we're warmed up and stretched out. And back down. Good. Okay. Ball back down, let's go shell stretch again. And we come over to the left hand on top of the right hand. And then across with the right hand on top of the left hand. Okay, coming back up onto all fours. And then in neutral, shoulders down away from your ears. We're going to take one hand underneath, nose following your middle fingers, and then back up and out. We're going to go for 6 to either side. And and change sides. So lifting up through the breastbone, nose follows your middle finger. Last one. Excellent work. Okay, so from here, give your wrists and elbows a bit of a shake, and then we can come back up into standing via a downward dog if you want to. So pushing your heels away, pushing through your hands. So shoulders down away from your ears. Just take a second to try and push long through the arms and let the heels sink down towards the floor. And then you can soften one knee, straightening the other, change sides, and then slowly walk your feet in towards your hands to where they're comfortable, letting the heels sink down. And then when you get to your comfortable stretch, you can slowly roll back up to come and face the front. Okay, good, and give those arms and shoulders a little bit of a shake. They're feeling tired after the last bit. Okay, good. So, get yourself set, feet hip width apart. And we finish with a little bit of marching. So left hand up, right knee up. And we're going to switch 3 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and hold. And repeat. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Okay, one more either side. 1, 2, 3, and hold. And this time, if you want to, you can take it into tree pose. You can even bring your other foot in if you want to. Finish with a little bit of yoga. And then in that position, breathe in through the side and back of your ribs, letting any tension flow away through the body. Coming back into your marching position, nearly lost it. One more switch. 1, 2, 3. Getting tree pose if you want to. There's some good trees there. Okay, slowly coming down. Feet hip width apart. And we will finish there. Thank you very much. Sorry we started slightly late. Internet connection again. Although it does seem to be better once it's on now. So I am going to stop the recording. Better do that.